Often hidden in plain sight, these spaces add a degree of mystery to some of the world's best-known monuments. Here are 9 secret rooms found inside landmarks. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to They Will Kill You. Hit the like button and request any topics you'd like to learn about in the comments section below. Number 9. Crystal Palace Subway. Tourists might not know that beneath a section of London's A212 lies a beautifully designed Victorian gem. Built over 150 years ago, the Crystal Palace Subway in South London has been closed to passengers since 1954. The underground heritage site features pillars from white and orange bricks and a spectacular vaulted walkway entrance. In the past, the station brought passengers to the Crystal Palace, once one of the world's largest glass structures, until it was destroyed by a fire in 1936. During World War II, the space was used as an air raid shelter. In 1961, the inside of the station was demolished, leaving behind only the walkway. Despite its underground location, the Victorian gem is a source of pride for Londoners aware of its existence. The Friends of Crystal Palace Group has raised thousands of pounds and secured planning permits to secure the vaulted structure being reopened for public viewing. Number 8. Empire State Building's viewing platform. Those visiting New York City's Empire State Building can enjoy a stunning view of Manhattan through the safety fence of the observation deck located on the 86th floor. Some go even higher to the 102nd floor and marvel at the Big Apple from behind sturdy windows. Yet there's a secret observation deck located on the 103rd floor, only accessible to a select few, which may prove a challenge even to people not scared of heights. The balcony features a low railing that sits upon a knee-high ledge, offering little protection against the terrifying drop. According to those who have visited the 103rd floor of the iconic building, the winds are also extremely strong and you feel like you're going to be lifted off the building. To get to the tiny deck, you have to take several elevators and travel past the building's inner workings, such as pipes and electricity boxes, with the final push to the summit being done via a steep metal ladder. Unfortunately for any would-be daredevils, the 103rd floor isn't open to the general public. The vertigo-inducing balcony is an exclusive space, mostly visited by celebrities such as ARIANA Grande and Taylor Swift. Number 7. Hall of Records. South Dakota's Mount Rushmore is undoubtedly among the United States' most famous landmarks, standing 5,725 feet above sea level and featuring 60-foot sculptures of the heads of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Sculptor GUTZON designed the monument and oversaw its execution from 1927 to 1941, aided by his son Lincoln Borglum. Borglum had a much larger vision for Mount Rushmore and wanted the massive sculpture to include significant moments in American history and the presidents to be depicted from head to waist. Lack of funding, coupled with Borglum's death in 1941, eventually brought construction to a halt. Before his passing, Borglum designed and started work on a secret room situated behind Abraham Lincoln's head. It was called the Hall of Records, and its purpose was to tell the history of the United States to future generations. After Borglum's death, work on the hall would stagnate until the late 1990s, when it was finally completed. Unfortunately, tourists aren't currently allowed to visit the mysterious room because its location makes it too difficult to reach. Number 6. Police Station in Trafalgar Square. Hidden in plain sight in London's Trafalgar Square is Britain's smallest police station. 1926 was a difficult year for police in the capital. Constant strike action, meant that officers had to be on their toes at all times. They needed a stakeout point that would enable them to observe the crowds that gathered in the square. They created a police station large enough to hold 2 prisoners at a time by hollowing out an ornamental lamppost. The small station had a phone line directly connected to Scotland Yard. Whenever it was used, the outside lamp would blink, thereby alerting patrolling officers that an emergency situation was unfolding. Number 5. Leonardo da Vinci's statue. A massive 60-foot bronze statue of Leonardo da Vinci welcomes flyers to Rome's Fiumicino Airport. While renovating the monument in 2008, workers were stunned to find it had been keeping a secret for 46 years. Halfway up the structure, they discovered a latch which opened a secret compartment. Inside it, they found 2 parchments. One listed the attendees to the unveiling of the statue, while the other, written in Latin, described the area's history going back to ancient times. The discovery was in keeping with the Renaissance polymath's well-known fascination for puzzles and mysteries. Number 4. Statue of Liberty's torch. A gift from the people of France to the people of the United States, the Statue of Liberty towers over Liberty Island in New York Harbor. The copper colossus measures roughly 151 feet from the base to the torch and was built by Gustave Eiffel with a design provided by French sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi. Those who visit the Liberty today will find that they can't climb higher than the crown. Up until June 30th, 1916, that wasn't the case. Visitors could go to a room in the statue's torch and treat themselves to a panoramic view of the city. When German agents blew up a pier between Black Tom Island and Jersey City, the explosion sent debris into the statue's arm, thus compromising the route to the torch's inner room. Number 3. Corridor in Florence. In Florence, there's a passageway measuring over half a mile that stretches across Ponte Vecchio, connecting the Pitti Palace to the Uffizi Gallery. Dating back to 1565, it was commissioned by Duke Cosimo I di Medici to celebrate the wedding of his son Francesco to Joanna of Austria. It's known as the Vasari Corridor after Giorgio Vasari, its designer. The meat market beneath the passageway was replaced by jewelry stores to make the daily journeys of the noble family more pleasant. The lavishly decorated corridor would enable the Grand Duke and other members of his family to move freely between their residence and the government offices. It also offered protection, for as most monarchs of the time didn't feel safe in public. This was particularly true for Cosimo I, as Florence's transition from a republic to a duchy had caused dissatisfaction among certain factions. The Vasari Corridor would eventually be closed down following private ownership of the gallery and a bombing incident. Nevertheless, renovation plans began in the 2010s, aimed at restoring the corridor to its former glory, opening up this once exclusive passage to the public. Number 2. Michelangelo's secret room. In 1975, at the Basilica di San Lorenzo in Florence, a discovery was made that would thrill those enamored with Renaissance art. Paolo dal Poggetto, director of the Medici Chapel's museum at the time, was trying to establish a new exit route for visitors when he found a trapdoor hidden under a wardrobe in the Medici tomb room. Dal Poggetto opened the trapdoor and discovered a rectangular room hidden beneath the Medici Chapel, which had been used to store coal. The room was cleared and cleaned when the coal dust, mud, and mold faded away. Drawings, graffiti, words, and calculations began to emerge. Historians believe that Michelangelo hid in a narrow room for around 2 months in 1530 after joining a revolt against his patrons, the Medici. The artist, who was around 55 years old at the time, is believed to have spent this time covering the chamber's walls in chalk and charcoal sketches. He was later allowed by the Medici to continue his work on the monuments located in the very chapel under which he'd been hiding. There's debate among scholars as to which and how many of the drawings were actually authored by Michelangelo. Some reflect his hand and resemble some of his other works, while others aren't considered good enough to have been done by him. The room remained sealed as it was considered too fragile for public visits. To mark the 450th anniversary of Michelangelo's death, a virtual tour of the room was created in 2014. Number 1. Gustave Eiffel's apartment. Without a doubt, the top of Paris's Eiffel Tower is the best place that tourists can visit in order to take in the panoramic wonders of the French capital. For more than 40 years since its completion in 1889, the massive ironclad tower would be the world's tallest man-made structure. Initially, there was a huge backlash from the artistic community as they felt that the monstrous monument would dominate the city and cast a shadow over other notable Parisian landmarks such as the Arc de Triomphe, the Louvre, or the Notre Dame. Nevertheless, Gustave Eiffel completed his design and the tower would become a French symbol as well as one of the world's best-known landmarks and one of the most visited paid monuments. When designing the massive structure, Eiffel also made a small addition to the blueprint that would lead to him being among Paris's most enviable people. Visitors only experienced the breathtaking view from the top of the Eiffel Tower for several minutes, but if he wanted to, Gustave Eiffel could wake up to it every day. This is because at the very top, he included a private apartment for himself. A far cry from the cold and intimidating appearance of the tower, the cozy apartment features oil paintings, paisley wallpaper, and wooden furniture. Parisians would reportedly offer Eiffel small fortunes to rent the apartment for just one night, but he always refused. He was famously rigorous of his visitors and only rarely entertained guests of the highest prestige, such as Thomas Edison. Only years after Gustave Eiffel's passing would the 1,000-foot-high space be open to the general public for viewings.
Despite extensive plastic surgery that had rendered him almost unrecognizable and a tendency to constantly change his hair, clothes, and general appearance, Geppetto was ultimately captured with the help of voice recognition software.